Good afternoon. I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory. That's a live look at the view from our 14 News studio tower camera. We are under an air quality alert today, and that has been extended to include tomorrow as well. Now, it's going to be mostly sunny, hot and dry through the rest of this week, but by the weekend, we do start to see some changes as rain returns to the forecast. Now, that air quality alert both today and tomorrow is because our air quality is what would be considered unhealthy for sensitive groups. So again, for most of us, this is not a concern. You're not going to notice any change in the air quality. This is specifically for folks with things like asthma, COPD, something that makes you really sensitive to changes in air quality. Those folks will just want to take it easy and keep an eye out for coughing or shortness of breath, as the air quality may dip just enough that specifically those in that sensitive group may notice the change. As for the skies overhead, mostly sunny. We've got a little bit of rain in southern Illinois just outside of the tri-state, as well as down in Caldwell County, Kentucky. The tri-state dry, mainly sunny. I wouldn't rule out a stray sprinkle in western Kentucky this afternoon, but it's a slim chance. We're probably going to stay dry, and the clouds and any rain that does happen to pop up would then clear out as the sun sets this evening, and it'll be mostly clear overnight and into Wednesday morning. As for our temperatures, sitting in the low 90s right now. Would you believe we're over halfway through September? It certainly does not feel like it out there. Sitting at 92 right now in Evansville and Mount Carmel. Owensboro sitting at 90 degrees even, and I actually think we'll tack on another degree or two this afternoon, so those temperatures will eventually top out in the low to maybe even mid 90s in some locations under these mostly sunny skies. Then we'll drop back through the 90s and into the 80s this evening, falling back through the 70s overnight, eventually bottoming out in the low 60s under mostly clear and calm conditions. Then tomorrow, a lot like today, it's going to be mostly sunny and on the hot side too, with highs in the low 90s, which again, much warmer than you would expect for this time of year. That's about 10 degrees warmer than average. Normally this time of year, our highs would be in the low 80s. Instead, we're talking low 90s through the end of this week, all the way up through Friday. Then we've got some clouds and some rain chances, and that starts to cool us back off a bit, but still mid to upper 80s is still slightly warmer than average for this time of year. Let me see if I can get the Facebook Live. There it is. I was having trouble getting it up earlier. Not seeing any questions just yet, but I'll keep an eye on it. If any of you do have any questions along the way, just drop it in the comments of the Facebook page. I do want to mention the humidity. Normally, when we have highs in the low to mid 90s, it would not be at all uncommon for us to be talking about a heat index in the triple digits. We saw that a lot this summer. That is not the case this time around. The dew point has really been very tolerable, and the humidity is expected to stay at a rather comfortable level through the rest of this week. Now, that is good news for our comfort level, because it means we don't have to worry about that humidity making it feel even hotter than it already is. The heat index is not a concern, but it's bad news for the drought. We have burn bans in effect for much of the tri-state. Dubois County was added just this morning, and that's because this drought keeps getting worse. We already have a moderate drought across much of the tri-state, with severe drought just off to our west-southwest, and every day that we go with this low humidity, the high heat, the sun beating down, it is just sapping all of the moisture out of the plants and out of the ground, and this drought keeps getting worse every day that we deal with this sunny, dry heat that we've got out there right now. But there is at least the possibility we could get some rain this weekend. So it's going to stay mainly sunny through Thursday. Friday, I think, may start out mostly sunny, but then we see increasing clouds throughout the day. There is an isolated chance of rain Friday night, and that spotty chance of rain continues through the weekend then. This is not going to be widespread or well organized. It's going to be very hit or miss chances of rain from Friday night on and off then throughout the weekend. So some of you may get rain more than once this weekend. Others may not get any rain at all. Our best shot at rain looks like it's probably going to be Monday, but even that's not a guarantee. I think we'll see scattered showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, mainly during the second half of the day Monday. Then that rain lingers into Tuesday morning, and then we see gradually clearing skies as we go through the day on Tuesday. So Isolated chances from Friday night on and off through the weekend. Best chance of rain is on Monday, but again, still not a guarantee. I am hoping we can get some good soaking rainfall out of this, especially if we can get some rain this weekend. And again on Monday, a couple days in a row of rain would really help put a dent in this drought. But again, no guarantees on that. Looking at the extended outlook now from Wednesday, September 24th, up through the end of the month on September 30th. Notice a lot of red and orange on this map. Much of the country, including right here in the tri-state, still expected to see above average temperatures through the end of the month. So that rain may bring us a little bit of a cool down, but even though fall technically starts on Monday, I would not expect fall-like temperatures through much of the rest of this month. As for the precipitation outlook for that same time period, showing near average precipitation in the tri-state, looks like it's going to be drier than normal off to our northeast and maybe a little wetter than normal down to our south. Here at home, kind of could go either way, but keep in mind average precipitation for this time of year is still not very much. Fall is often a drier time of year in the tri-state, so average would still probably not be enough to really pull us out of the drought we currently have going. We are also keeping an eye on the tropics. We have one system here with a 90% chance of developing into a named tropical cyclone as it continues to work its way across the Atlantic. Then we've got a new one that just came, right off the coast of Africa. It is barely even over the ocean, but it's already been tagged as having a 20% chance of developing into a tropical cyclone as it pushes out over open waters there. So we've got two different systems we're tracking. One obviously much further along with a much better chance of developing into a tropical cyclone, but neither one has actually formed into a tropical named storm just yet. This is a time of year where we're typically in the peak of hurricane season, so it is kind of odd that we don't have any named storms in the Atlantic right now, but like I said, that one could very well develop as we go through the next few days or so. One question I see is on Saturday, Skylar asking about those rain chances. They're really spotty. There is a chance all day long. So it could be in the morning, could be in the afternoon. It's going to be really hit or miss, but it'll be spotty. I think a majority of the day will probably be dry. We're not talking about a washout here, but at some point in the day, it could be at any time, but at some point in the day, you may get a quick shower or a thunderstorm even. So just something where you really want to have your First Alert weather app handy. You can check the radar there and see if there's any rain in your area or headed your way. And obviously the 14 First Alert weather team will be here throughout the weekend. Michael Fecka will have those latest updates for you as any rain develops and moves in. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. But don't go anywhere. Jamie French and Robinson Miles will be right back with your latest news headlines.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices. Live from 14 News, this is a 14 Digital News Desk update.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the 2:30 streaming show. I'm Jamie French.
And I'm Robinson Miles. Now, of course, today is the 16th. We're now halfway through September. October's coming up, and that means the Fall Festival. So we do have kind of something to watch out for as we get closer here. We actually have a scam alert from the Westside Nut Club. Officials say there are some fraudulent posts circulating online claiming to sell vendor spots for this year's festival.
Yeah, Nut Clubbers say that all of the spots are full for this year. You know, the Munchie map is already out, so those are set. They say official vendor spots are only handled through the club's streets committee. So officials ask that you report any posts that seem suspicious. If you see a post saying, hey, vendor spots available for the Fall Festival, that's not real, so please do not fall for that. Again, all of that is already set. Munchie map is already printed and ready to go, so just be careful.
You know, this story gives me like older brother levels of protectiveness. I'm like, they're all nonprofits. Be nice to them.
Yeah,
Leave them
absolutely.
alone. I know. I hate that so much.
Yes.
So be careful. Just something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Now, we are going to switch tracks just a little bit, go to Webster County. Great news for those of us who like to sleep in. Webster County school officials are rolling out a new way to make sure students get to school if they've missed the bus. According to school officials, they have launched a Second Chance Express for middle and high school students.
Yeah, so officials say this bus will make an additional pickup after the first run from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. for school arrival by 11 a.m. They say it's designed just to make sure that students don't miss the entire day of school. Leaders say details on pickup times and stops will be shared directly with families, either with their Parent Square messages or a phone call. We have more details on how this works over on 14news.com. Certainly a great idea because, you know, we hear about state laws changing all the time regarding truancy. So if like kids are late too much or they're missing school too much, parents can actually get in trouble, and that could be a very bad thing. So this is great.
You know, it's one of those things that's smart. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Give them another option. I know had this existed when I grew up,
You would have abused it.
oh, man, I would have been such a
Rob.
frequent flyer on that thing. Never on purpose. I just don't manage my mornings well.
Right.
That's why I start my shift at 2 in the afternoon now.
Well, it's like growing
Not
up,
great.
you know, if you miss your bus and parents are already off to work and you can't
Oh,
drive
you're
just yet,
toast.
you are just toast. I mean, there's no way to get to school. So all you got to do is have a parent, you know, message through Parent Square or call the bus garage, hop on that Second Chance Express, and then you'll be at school by 11. That's great.
Week 2, the driver of the Second Chance Express would have known my first
They
and
would
last
have been like,
names.
we're friends now.
Oh, they would have known me,
That's
100%.
funny. That's
Not, I
funny.
mean, hopefully they would have thought I was nice, but it wouldn't have been a great thing.
I
All right,
love it.
well, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, we've got all these stories and a whole lot more. A lot of things happening around the tri-state today, so be sure to join us again for 14 News at 4, 5, and 6, and later this evening at 10.
All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.